Welcome back to another thrilling episode on Neko Darius' channel. Today, we're diving into the longest match of my Rogue Company career, where I dropped a whopping 73 enemies and crossed an incredible 15,000 damage. From the first bullet fired to the final enemies dropped. I'll take you through every strategic move, every close call, and every triumphant victory en route to the best win of my career. So, buckle up and get ready for an adrenaline pumping journey through the most intense match of my Rogue Company career. And remember, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more gaming content. Let's go ahead and get this show on the road. Let's get started. In the match where I dropped 73 enemies, there were a few key strategies I used en route to victory. The first is always going to be map awareness. I kept a close eye on the mini-map and was constantly aware of my enemy's positions. This allowed me to anticipate enemy movements and get the drop on them. However, I'm just going to tell you now, things didn't go quite to plan at the very start of the match. As you can see, I started out with an axe and I was trying to go around. I flanked, got the anvil really easily here. And I noticed that one of my teammates was already dead. I tried to get the glimpse, wound up hitting glimpse with the sweetest axe throw. And then I didn't realize this, but this is where map awareness came into play. I didn't check to my left and I tried to escape. I wound up getting knocked right here, and that is okay. It's not the end of the world. We're going to go ahead and quickly respawn and we're going to get right back at it. So as you can see, I kind of respawned, got back at it, and noticed that one of my teammates, which is a young guy, young anvil, was getting pinned down. So you see I take a little bit of damage here. I'm down real low. Had to rely on Ronin. Now keep in mind, Ronin stayed with us throughout the entire match. We did wind up losing a teammate, and I'm not going to give you any surprises or spoil it for you guys. I'll let you guys know who you'll see who surrendered and left on us, unfortunately. So you can see I kind of hit around the box. That came down to map awareness. This was a bad throw, and honestly I probably should have thought a little bit better of it rather than kind of rushing in there. So I didn't think about it, rushed in there and wound up getting caught. That's okay. It's not too big of a problem. Picked up a gun off the ground and get shocked from behind. Getting shocked from behind actually kind of helped give me a little bit of extra confidence boost, because I was like, okay, this is not bad. I heard Anvil put his shield down. Again, map awareness says I can jump this wall. Not many people realize you can jump that wall and get over that. So that barricade was kind of a waste of time. And that's both ways. Right here, I use a little bit of aim and accuracy. I've been practicing my aim and it's really paid off in this match. So you saw that I hit Shock in the head a lot more, even though that was kind of a narrow window. And when I hit him in the head, it really allowed me to take him down a lot quicker. As you can see, Glimpse got away from me here. She's still alive. You can see, and I'm shooting, looking for her. We get somebody that wants to surrender. I'm not really surrendering. As you can see, we lost a teammate. And then I think about it, and Glimpse is always going to hide there. I'm a Glimpse player as well, so I knew that she would be hiding there instead. Shock, on the other hand, I should have thought a little bit better of. I just kind of ran in there and didn't get him. At this point, I'm a little frustrated because I'm like, you know, if you want to surrender at this point, just leave. I can probably handle them myself. So honestly, this kind of goes back to the whole positioning thing. So as you can see, this was really good positioning on my part when I came back out on the flank from the respawn. Now that was just kind of a lucky respawn putting me there. Again, I didn't have a good gun, so I had bad positioning here, didn't see Anvil behind me, and you can see I'm out of this round, unfortunately, at this exact moment in time. So that sucks. I see the rest of my teammates getting killed, and it just came down to, you know, game knowledge in the end. My teammates didn't seem like they had the same game knowledge I had, and that kind of affected them a lot more than it should have. But it's not that bad of a big of a problem. So going to the second round, you can see I finally bought myself my gun. I bought padded steps. I don't really use padded steps all that often, but it does help in those situations where I'm kind of strafing a corner and trying to stay away from the enemy from touching me or getting to me. So unfortunately, a lot of people are going to probably, you know, knock me on that one. I did get the padded steps in this regard for this round when I noticed that we were down a teammate. I wanted to get a save the day. Unfortunately, we didn't get a save the day. Would have been great to have had one, but you know, beggars can't be choosers in this game. So didn't get a save the day at this point going into the second round. So we were down a full person. Now right here, good throw on Anvil, takes away his armor and kind of neutralizes his threat. But then I didn't realize this, but there was multiple. So Glimpse was on my left, and then of course I was getting shot at. But I believe that was Shock. Yeah, it was Shock, and he was able to get the res off. So you see good respawn here. Map awareness tells me that they're on this side of the map. So we're going to kind of rush in there, trying to see if we can make something happen. I'm going to try my best. I see them. I start shooting, and then I didn't finish either one of them. Tried to circle back around, and again, just bad positioning on my part on that side. So I didn't get into a good angle, and there was a bad angle for me to be there, and unfortunately I paid the price. So I wound up losing another life without taking anybody down, and this was going to be a kind of a reoccurring theme. I did happen to get Glimpse when she was jumping over, and at this point, you know, I'm getting a little frustrated because my teammates aren't truthfully helping, but at least they're still there. You know, I realized I couldn't do everything alone. I wanted to do everything alone, but I couldn't. Sweet axe throw, looking back at it. Now, her Glimpse, I wasn't sure where she was, so I threw my axe over there. Probably a bad idea. You can see I buy Shredder Rounds. Shredder Rounds is a very unique niche perk that really only works against those with armor, aka Anvil. He bought his armor upgrade, so he had an extra 75 armor, which was completely like tough. As you can see, I get the Glimpse on the invis. Very tough one there. I don't really understand what happened, but I believe I actually wound up hitting her with the axe because it kind of moved to her over on a highlighted scale. So I was able to highlight her without actually trying to. So unfortunately, Glimpse just happened to be in the right place at the wrong time for that axe to hit her. I wound up buying my Semtex again. We're only in this round. We had a chance to win the first round. Unfortunately, we didn't. You see, I'm trying to take out the sensor. That's a very important factor. With Dima not being as effective as I would like as a teammate, I had to do that. I realized that Anvil's behind the shield, so I threw the Semtex, popped the Seeker in the head, and then I thought I was going to get Shock here, and we do get Shock. And then, of course, you see Glimpse over there hiding in the back. I decided to let her go rather than chase. Probably was the best idea with Anvil being there on the opposite side. I tried throwing my axe. It actually gets stuck in the wall next to me, which sucks. Ronin gets knocked by the Glimpse. I finished the Glimpse off, and then of course Anvil throws my axe back at me. Thanks, Anvil. But I see you can probably notice I am alone. So I was trying to think through different scenarios, different ideas of what I needed to do, and then I realized I just couldn't leave the objective. I was stuck. So here we are, down 2. I have the best teammates in the world. And yeah, that's where we are. That's exactly where we are. I'm leading everybody. I checked the scoreboard. I tried to check the scoreboard to see who left. I was hoping we were going to get a save of the day at this point. I didn't get a save of the day. So I really had to work with the teamwork. So even though I was the one getting like the elims and all the downs, you know, my team did play a pretty crucial role. I couldn't communicate with them. I don't know if they could hear me. I tried calling things out. I did notice that they were at least pinging, which is very big in Rogue Company. So they were using the ping system to try and communicate as best as they could. And honestly, I think they did really well for a team that we didn't have any communication. So this one right here, this one is tough. This round, so you see the Semtex throw. That was a good Semtex throw. It allows me to get a knock here. Unfortunately, I tried to jump around the corner and I got shot from the left and the right. Again, bad positioning. I shouldn't have pushed out like that without having an idea as to what I was going to do. Good news is Ronin did get picked up. I asked them to try to spread out from each other so that they're not on top of each other, which would have allowed them to get killed a little easier from a C4 or something. Again, my axe gets stuck in the environment here on the left side, so that sucks. I wound up just whiffing on the shots. Again, I did work on my aim and accuracy, but I wind up miffing on shots. It happens, especially when you're, you know, sitting back and it's like you're in a high pressure situation. And it was high pressure. You see, I'm looking around, I'm scanning, making sure that Glimpse isn't back behind me because, you know, she can go invisible. And with that invisibility, it makes things a little bit harder. I try to take out, again, these sticky sensors. It's something that that Seeker likes to use. And it allows me to kind of sit in this little corner here. And I'm just thinking about things. You see, I take a lot of damage. I took 70 points of damage. I try to get out of there, run past Glimpse, turn back around and shoot her. I don't know if you guys also noticed, I did change guns. I went to the SL-C, which is something I rarely do, but I felt like I needed something with a little bit more speed on the TTK rather than something that was like the 24S, which is more balanced for what I needed. Right here, I decided to revive my teammate. Not a lot of people revive their teammates in this regard, and unfortunately, or fortunately, it actually helped. But bad news for me, again, bad positioning, and I had the wrong gun out. I was trying to switch from the LMG. I tried to throw the axe to give myself a little bit more time because the rewind or the reload time was going to be too long. So bad idea on me. I throw the Semtex, actually get the shield to break. Should have looked more left and got Anvil, but I got Seeker instead. And unfortunately, I didn't get either of them because I didn't focus on the main threat. Now right here, good respawn. Glimpse was trying to come up from behind. We're tied at this point. I chase after. I can still hear her at this point, and I just happen to get lucky throwing the axe. So there's a really key like audio tone for her. Jump over the wall, throw the axe there, make sure I finish off Shock because he can revive himself. Seeker was already down. Good job on my teammates part. I decided to go ahead and capture and also pick up a gun at the same time, so that kind of helps us preserve another life, because every 30 seconds you lose a life up until the final life, which is every 60 seconds. I decided to camp around this corner. It's not something I do frequently, but I will sometimes camp around a corner just to make sure I'm jumping around the corner, get the Seeker on the jump with throw, and then this throw right here, critical throw on Glimpse, actually kind of saved my team. I take a little second to break, and then I see Shock coming. I heard him actually before I saw him, and I get in there, throw another down into the bucket. So here we go. They try to throw a grenade because I think Shock was communicating with him. I throw my axe right at the feet of Seeker. And right here, this is where it's going to get interesting. I'm going to actually track Glimpse. I heard her, threw my axe at her while she was invis on the stairs. Wish I could actually explain that one. I don't think I really can, except for the fact that I think there's a slight exploit within the game now that allows axes to kind of show and highlight certain characters, aka Glimpse, when she's invisible. So you got to keep an eye out for that visual. I happen to throw a lot of axes in the game and recognize that my reticle was bouncing around almost like it just knew she was there. I passed by this area, did not know it was Anvil, and decided to finally actually shoot him, but I didn't know he was there. So it really helped out in general. So as you can see, we get the first round. And at this point, I am busting my tail. I am sweating, guys. I'm putting in all the work. I'm getting, I guess, praise from TNT. I'm getting help from Fastest Man, even though they're not truly, there downs wise. Them being there is really helping. So, we get off the ship. I didn't really buy anything, I don't think, at this point. So we get off the ship, we're coming off the ship, and we're, at 1 and 2. I'm definitely thinking to myself, maybe I unintentionally did something dumb, like, killing Glimpse while she's invisible. That could always be a problem, but, beggars can't be choosers, and we're going to go ahead and just kind of run with it. So, trying to complete the tie up, get the Shock right here. Happen to see Anvil. Try to get Anvil, doesn't get him because I was double teamed. It takes 2, maybe 3, just to kill me. So I wound up getting into a bad situation there, and kind of wish I would have just had the positioning. I throw smoke, trying to protect my beautiful little Ronin, who's trying their hardest. I couldn't. I get Shock on the throw. I decided to bleed out despite my teammate already shooting Shock. I didn't want my teammate to take time to try to revive me. 5 seconds that he could have used to use that would have been 5 seconds that he could have used inside of a battle, and I just decided not to worry about it. You see, I break another sensor, and I get the Seeker who keeps throwing those sensors, and then I start going. I chase after and miss an axe throw, and right there, I should have had her. That pistol, I hate that pistol. I hate it. I hate it. Anyways, so after I'm sitting here narrating this afterwards, and it's like, man, there's some things I hate. So right here, I recognize my teammates are struggling. I look over to the left, didn't see to my right that Glimpse was already tracking me right there. So unfortunately, coughed up another, life. Then, of course, we had our teammate lose a life, and then things are just getting out of hand. We're down half of what they have. It's 6 to 12. I throw a smoke out here to try to get her way, and almost had it. And Shock somehow, despite me putting all my bullets in him, survived. So I make the decision to switch back to my 24S, which is Lancer's main primary gun. Everybody should have the 24S upon starting the game with Lancer. And I'm just like, you know what, 24S it is. So you just can see 3 quick downs. And then I try to, get Anvil, and I believe I don't get him at this exact moment. He decided to use his own map awareness, get behind some cover. I get him on the foot, which really takes him out. You can see I'm kind of short, looking around. I break Anvil's shields the way we still have this entryway. I break again another sticky sensor, well placed. Get the glimpse easily, and I chuck my axe, miss, but I decide to continue to lay fire. I duck down. And with that extra duck down that allowed me to get the shot, I start shooting at the sticky center, miss. Wind up getting Seeker instead, which is fine, I guess. Needed some bullets, picks up his gun, which is Shock. So Shock runs an SMG. I needed SMG bullets. So I picked up his gun, turned around, went for Anvil after he came back up the steps because he, was looking for me. Would have had Shock, should have just kind of stayed on Shock. Instead, I panicked a little bit because of the life situation that we were in. I knew that we needed me to kind of, shoulder the team on my back. So I tried. So this situation right here, right there, that throw was important because that knocked him down to 75 health rather than the 175 he had. And then I turn around, hit Seeker with it. Now, also, real quick, I don't know if you noticed, Dima is down. If Dima dies, we're out of lives. That's going to be important in a second. You see, Dima gets up. I just missed the axe throw on Glimpse. That's fine. I thought I was out. I thought I was dead. I really did. I didn't realize that Ronan picked up Dima. And I even said to, Ronan, hey, good job on picking up Dima, because that really just saved us a little bit. So rather than chase after Glimpse, I decided to chuck something else at her, which is a Simtex, come around the backside of her. Now I hear her. So I started shooting prematurely. And then I looked and it's like, honestly, she shouldn't have lost that, but she did. And then I chucked my axe, and of course, I'm the last one alive at this point, unfortunately. But I threw my axe at Shock and then let him kind of get up a little bit and then finished him off. Decided not to let him get all the way up, because if he would have threw a Simtex and stuck me and I wouldn't have killed him, then I would have just been like an idiot. So I wound up finishing him before he could finish me. At this point, I have gotten everything in the shop, all the perks, all the upgrades. I've upgraded my axe, which is 10,000. Upgraded my secondary, which is like 4,000. Upgraded my primary, which is 15,000. Padded steps, energized, life drain, legendary life drain, bounce back, gadgeteer. Every single perk that is in Lancer's kit I had bought at this point. And it all came down to this final round. So you see, I threw the Simtex right there. Really good throw on the Simtex. Tries to throw the axe. I hit the axe throw on Glimpse as she was trying to kind of be a little sneaky. I decided to finish her off before kind of sitting back a little bit, taking a little bit of scope, and then realizing I screwed up. I get into cover. Ronan rolls over and comes in with the clutch revive. So that was a huge boost there. I get the Anvil, which gives me that life drain. Then I get Seeker. And then as we turn around, so Ronan starts pushing in on that. Ronan gets knocked. I decide to go ahead and get the Glimpse, revive the Ronan. I'm telling Ronan to come on over a little bit more, because that kind of comes back down to game knowledge. I studied this map. I know what angle there is on that. And Ronan was right in the middle of all that. So it came down to having some game knowledge. I know the strengths and weaknesses of some of the characters. I picked up this gun. So you see, I dropped my secondary, picked up an extra gun just for the extra bullets. So I wound up getting the extra bullets. Ronan gets knocked. I decided to stay on this corner because I knew somebody was still back here, and I wanted to make sure I cleared the way for my teammate. Now, I noticed that Ronan died over here, and I thought, well, there's an Anvil shield that wasn't here before. I kind of, walk around it and realize that I can shoot Anvil. I failed to shoot him, but I throw the axe through the window and get Seeker, bleed out immediately. As you can see, I'm trying to figure out if there's anything else I can buy to help give us an edge. I couldn't. Shock was back here causing some problems. And then this is where things kind of started going downhill. I screwed up a few times, I'm not gonna lie. with Glimpse. Glimpse was kind of back in our area where we spawned, so we were getting spawn trapped. And this is where I should have used map knowledge a little bit better and should have started over this way first before coming around. Would have probably saved Ronin, but I didn't. And that's on me. I should have just kind of did that. I pick up my other gun because my other gun was still on the floor. As you can see, Anvil's there, hits me with the axe throw, critical axe throw for him. Good job for him. I'm asking Demon to revive me because we need the life. I see Ronin's behind. She's taking a lot of damage. And I decided to just kind of push this, even at 25 HP. Again, not a good idea. Get my health back, throw an axe at Glimpse, miss. Tried to keep shooting her, but the Knight SMG just is a headhunter. Real strong, powerful gun, and it wound up catching me off guard there, unfortunately. So I really shouldn't have pushed that. Then I recognized another teammate went down. So then I was Glimpse again. And then of course I take out the sensor above. Seeker gives his position away, which allows me to kind of know what they're running in this situation. I know that sounds crazy, but they're running a zoning type where they're trying to just zone people out from the objective. So I'm doing the best I can. Survive another axe throw from Anvil because would have been upset if that would have worked. Get my axe back, took a little second. I decided to destroy this sticky sensor, and you can see we're up with the life advantage. We got 3 lives, so there's 0 lives. At this point, I haven't checked anything. I was going to break that shield, changed my mind on that because it was going to force them to come to us. So I get the Glimpse down, which is a huge point for me. And then I turn around. You see how I crossed the line? I decided to cross that corner because staying there would have just, led to me getting more bullets, taking more damage. So I took 80 points of damage, but I decided to continue on. I decided to flank. A late flank this late in the game, passing through the sensor where I would have been, they would have been notified that I was there. I get the Seeker and then my teammate who's on the ground. I decided to go ahead and revive right before we're done. So all in all, an exciting 5-round match in Strikeout pubs. And we wound up finishing out with 72 and 73 with 15,000 damage. I'm talking about 15K. When we say 15K, we ain't talking just a little bit. We're talking 15,165 damage. That's a lot of damage that was dealt. More damage than I think I've ever done in my entire Rogue Company career. So I enjoyed it. It was a pretty good match. If you guys are interested in seeing a little bit more of this chatty side with the Rogue Company solo gameplay, please feel free to hit me up at any point. I would appreciate it a ton. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you liked today's video. And if you didn't like today's video, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you want me to change, and we'll see what we can do. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Be easy, everybody.